Max Verstappen isn't just shifting gears, he's fuming. Red Bull's decision to swap Liam Lawson with Yuki Tsunoda for Japan has him seeing red. Let's dive into why he's not happy. Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko has revealed that Max Verstappen is not happy with the team's driver swap after just 2 races. On Thursday morning, it was announced that Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda would switch seats starting at next weekend's Japanese Grand Prix. However, the decision wasn't based on Lawson's performances. Despite showing potential, Lawson struggled to score points in the opening 2 races and couldn't break out of the first part of qualifying. He started 20th in both the China Sprint and the Chinese Grand Prix. Marko noted that the young driver quickly lost confidence in the challenging RB21. Liam has had the necessary bad luck, Marko told The Telegraph. During the test days in Bahrain, he missed a lot of time because of mechanical problems. And also during the 3rd free practice in Australia, he lost important time. Then the problems started. The pressure on him got bigger and bigger. He lost confidence, started trying harder and harder, but made more mistakes as a result. In China, it went from bad to worse. Added to that, our car is very difficult to drive and not the fastest. While Lawson clearly faced challenges at the Milton Keynes-based team, Marko emphasised that his demotion back to Racing Bulls was not a decision made lightly. However, the Austrian also acknowledged that Lawson is fortunate Red Bull has a sister team, as without it he could have easily found himself without an F1 seat. It wasn't an easy decision either, insisted Marko. But Liam was like a stricken boxer, and we are not throwing him out of Formula One. He remains active within Red Bull, and the Racing Bull is a good car. We also had to make similar decisions in the past with Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon. They then recovered and are highly regarded Formula One drivers. We are in the unique position of being able to do this. In another team, he would have left Formula One immediately. Whether one finds that argument convincing is certainly up for debate. Marko then shifted his focus to Tsunoda and the know-it-alls who might question why he wasn't promoted to Red Bull when the team parted ways with Sergio Perez. From Marko's perspective, the veteran driver has made significant strides this season, particularly with his consistency, development, and physical preparation. Of course, there are many know-it-alls who will now object. Why wasn't Tsunoda given preference from the start? That's because Yuki's career often had ups and downs. He didn't exactly have an image of reliability and consistency. But now he's made a leap forward in his development, including in terms of physical preparation. Tsunoda is now a real muscleman, began Marko. Yuki delivered impressive performances over the first 2 race weekends. So, what distinguished Lawson in the second half of the 2024 season, we're now seeing in Yuki. Red Bull has faced heavy criticism for making a driver change after just 2 races, with Max Verstappen leading the charge. The 4-time world champion is unhappy with the decision to drop Lawson. However, Marko has defended the move, insisting that Tsunoda's experience is crucial to helping Verstappen secure another title. We know Max is not happy, revealed Marko, but we need 2 cars at the front, not only for the Constructors' Championship but also to help Max get his 5th world title. Then you can strategically achieve more in races. We can use Yuki's experience and form well now. That's what counts. At the end of the day, that's to the team's advantage, and so that means also in favour of Max. Rumours that Verstappen wasn't in favour of Red Bull's decision first started to swirl when the Dutch driver liked an Instagram post by Guido van der Garde. In his post, van der Garde said, "I'm getting a bit tired of all the comments that F1 is the toughest sport in terms of performances, and when you're under-deliver, you've got to face the consequences. Yes, you got to perform, yes, the pressure is insane. But in my opinion, this comes closer to bullying or a panic move than actual high athlete achievements. They made a decision, fully aware, gave Liam 2 races, only to crush his spirit. Don't forget the dedication, hard work and success Liam has put in his career so far to achieve the level where he is now. I remember my own blood, sweat and tears, and that was to reach F1, let alone driving for an absolute top team. Yes, he underperformed the first 2 races, but if anyone's aware of that, it's himself. Perhaps he has suggested this himself, but if not, I wish Liam all the strength and courage to get to the grid in Japan. Trust yourself, get your head up, prove them wrong." Amid rumours that Verstappen was unhappy about the talk of a Red Bull driver swap, he seemingly confirmed the speculation by liking a post from van der Garde. He was quickly joined by Pierre Gasly, the Alpine driver who also experienced Red Bull's harsh treatment in 2019. demoted back to the junior team after just half a season of struggling alongside Verstappen. Another notable figure in the sport has given his 2 cents about the shocking driver swap. Gunther Steiner, the former Haas team principal, shared his thoughts on the Red Flags podcast. Lawson's struggles mainly says how good Max is. That's what it shows, how good that boy is. Checo Sergio Perez is a good driver, but he couldn't do it in the beginning either. He was okay, and then he lost his mojo next to Max. Max is just so good. Everyone collapses a bit when they compare themselves to him. A quarter of the current grid have now been Verstappen's teammate at either Red Bull or its sister team, with Perez holding the longest tenure between 2021 and 2024. Since Daniel Ricciardo's departure in 2018, Verstappen has remained unchallenged, and the struggles associated with the second seat have only become more pronounced with each passing season. Steiner believes that Lawson's gap to Verstappen, despite the Dutchman's exceptional talent, was particularly concerning. If you are half a second slower than your teammate, you are already much slower, but more than a second, that's a real difference, he said. And the other guy is always in the top 4. That's weird. That big difference would worry me. That he can't beat him is understandable. But the gap is a second, a whole second. Lawson had only been given 2 races to prove himself worthy of the Red Bull seat, and he was racing on 2 tracks he had little experience with, in conditions that even veteran drivers found challenging. Lawson at Racing Bulls, when they put him in there, he did well, Steiner continued. He delivered a respectable performance there. No problem there, but now in Red Bull it just doesn't work out. Maybe he puts too much pressure on himself. Maybe that's it, just too much pressure. As the New Zealander looks to bounce back from a confidence-shattering start to the new season, Jos Verstappen, father of his former Red Bull teammate Max Verstappen, is backing him. He declared that Lawson deserves his place in Formula One. Lawson was Red Bull's pick for the F1 2025 season after Sergio Perez vacated his seat, despite the 23-year-old having only contested 11 Grand Prix races at that point, split between 2 Racing Bulls stints. First, he replaced an injured Daniel Ricciardo, and a year later he took Ricciardo's seat after the latter was dropped following the Singapore Grand Prix in 2024. However, after struggling to escape Q1 in both Australia and China, qualifying last for both the sprint and the Grand Prix in China, while failing to score any points, Red Bull felt a duty of care to their struggling driver. As a result, they sent him back to the Junior Racing Bulls team to continue his F1 career, triggering a straight swap with Yuki Tsunoda. Max's father, Jos, has now weighed in, reacting to an Instagram post from Racing Bulls confirming Lawson's return with a supportive message. "I really hope you go do a fantastic job," said Jos before declaring, "He deserves to be in F1. So will Red Bull come to regret this decision? Let me know your thoughts down below as always. That's all for today, so thanks for watching everybody.